All right, for SS Weekly, we'll go to week 11. We'll take test. And then again, you can listen to the questions being read to you by clicking the play button. We're on our Pearson Realize test for science. I'm going to read it aloud. Select the correct answer to complete the statement. Sound travels in Ross velocity waves. The blank is the highest point of a wave. Crest, peak, or throw. The blank is the lowest point of a wave. Crest, throw, or valley. The distance between two crests is called a crest, throw, or wavelength. A blank is the disturbance that carries energy from one point to another point. A wave, B water droplet, C throw, D crest. Which is not true about energy? A, there is only one form of energy. B, energy can travel in waves. C, energy can be moved from one object to another. D, human bodies use energy. Which shows the order of the forms of energy used when you turn on the light switch? A, chemical energy, stored energy, light energy. B, electrical energy, light energy, mechanical energy. C, potential energy, light energy, kinetic energy. D, kinetic energy, electrical energy, or light energy. All right, reading quiz. Read the passage and answer the questions that follow. One day I went for a walk and found a tiny egg in the grass. The egg had little blue dots on it. What kind of egg could this be? I wondered. It's a bird egg or a snake egg. I picked the egg up off of the ground, remembering that my older sister was taking a science class at her high school. I figured that she could tell me what kind of egg it was. My mother called me in for lunch. As she set the table and prepared the meal, she asked, "What do you have in your hand, Tom?" "I don't know, but I know a mother is sad somewhere because she lost an egg." We ate lunch, and I closely watched the tiny egg. My mother handed me a huge helping of spaghetti and meatballs, which happens to be my favorite. I held the egg in my lap, careful not to crush the fragile shell. Tap, tap, tap. The sound came from the egg as the tiny brown beak peeped out from the shell. "It's a bird," I yelled. I did not have to wait for my sister's opinion after all. "I bet it came from the robin's nest in the front yard," my mother said. I hurried to the front yard as the baby bird pecked and pecked. I could see its head peeking out of the tiny hole. Peeking out of the tiny hole its beak had created. My mother took the egg from my hand. "If we return it to the nest now, the mother will take care of it when it hatches." "But I want to keep it as a pet," I argued. It had been a long time since my last pet. My mother said, "You know that baby bird needs its mother. That is where it belongs, with a mother who can nurture it and teach it how to survive. If we keep the bird in the house, it certainly will not survive very long, no matter how hard we try." I was upset all afternoon, wondering why I could not keep the baby bird. I decided my mother was right. Did I think I could predict how a mother bird would tend to her baby? One morning, not too long after discovering the baby bird, my mother called me out to the yard. "Remember the bird you wanted to take care of last week?" she asked. "Of course," I said. My mother pointed to the bird's nest. "Look." I stood on my toes. There was a baby bird. Its mother was feeding it, and the baby looked strong, happy, and content. I knew at that moment that we had made the right decision. Aren't you glad we found the bird's home? My mother asked. Yes, I answered, glad that I had given the baby bird back to its mother. Number 1, which sentence tells you the most about the egg? A, I found an egg in the grass. B, the egg had little blue dots on it. C, I held the egg in my lap. D, it is a snake egg. Is it a snake egg? Which sentence comes from the passage? Its mother was feeding it. The baby looked strong, happy, and content. Tom put together a cage for the baby bird. C, the baby bird flew away. D, my mom had made a huge helping of spaghetti and meatballs for lunch. Number 3, which sentence from the passage makes it end happily? A, my mother called me out to the yard. B, remember your baby bird. C, but I want to keep it as a pet. D, it looks strong, happy, and content. Read the story, then answer the questions that follow. Have you ever seen a flying fish? They soar several feet above the water. Some fish can go as high as 36 feet above the water. An interesting thing about these fish is that they don't really fly. Instead, they use the wind to glide through the air. The fish swim as fast as they can to the surface of the water. When they break the surface, they spread their fins like wings. The wind can carry these fish several yards. The fish fly above the water to get away from an enemy. There are 50 different kinds of flying fish. The biggest kind is the California flying fish, which is 18 inches long. The Atlantic flying fish is a kind that lives in the Atlantic Ocean. Number 4, the biggest kind is the blank flying fish. A, California, B, Atlantic, C, Rainbow, D, Pacific. Number 5, what is the highest a flying fish can go above the water? A, 18 inches, B, 50 feet, C, 36 feet, D, 36 inches. What is special about a flying fish? A, it swims quickly. B, it can swim to the surface of the water. C, its fins are used as wings. D, it lives in the water. Number 7, how high can a flying fish soar above the water? A, several meters. B, several inches. C, several miles. Or D, several feet. Our math quiz. Which figures are squares? A, 4 and 6. B, 7 and 8. C, 2 and 3. D, 1 and 5. How many squares are in the figure? A, 6. B, 2. C, 5. D, 7. Which set has only one rectangle and no squares? Which picture has a square? Number 5, how many rectangles are in the picture? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4. Which figure has a rectangle and squares? Number 7, 3 times 2 is the same as A, 2 plus 2 plus 2, B, 3 plus 3 plus 3, C, 2 plus 2, D, 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Number 8, which of the following formulas is correct in finding the perimeter of this triangle? A, 10 meters times 10 meters. B, 10 meters plus 10 meters plus 10 meters. C, 10 meters. D, 10 meters divided by 3. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? Four centimeters, 2 centimeters. A, 8 centimeters. B, 24 centimeters. C, 12 centimeters. Or D, 18 centimeters. What is the perimeter of this hexagon? 4 feet. A, 24 feet. B, 20 feet. C, 16 feet. Or D, 23 feet.